Hare Krishna, Granthara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in story form, chapter 134. The Lord blesses Sudāmā Brāhmaṇa, Canto 10. While talking with Sudāmā for a long time, Krishna smiled all the while. Then, just to further enjoy the company of an old friend, Krishna inquired, "What gift have you brought for me? Has your wife given some nice food for me? Although I am not in need of anything, I highly regard even the smallest gift from my devotees. On the other hand, even the greatest of gifts offered by non devotees do not please me." Krishna was looking at Sudama with great love, knowing that he was hesitant to present his paltry gift. Paltry gift. Sudama simply bowed his head in shame, being too embarrassed to offer his palmfuls of flat rice to the husband of the goddesses of fortune. Lord Krishna thought, "In the past, my friend never worshipped me with a desire for material opulence. I know that he has come here just to satisfy his chaste and devoted wife. I shall therefore give Sudama more riches than could be imagined by Indra, the king of heaven." Thinking like this, Krishna suddenly snatched the bundle of flat rice hanging from Sudama's shoulder and exclaimed, "My dear friend, what is this? Oh, you have brought me some nice flat rice. I think that this gift will not only satisfy me, but the entire creation as well." After saying this, Krishna ate one bite of the rice. Then, as he attempted to take a second bite, Rukmini stopped him by catching his hand and saying, "This is more than enough, O soul of the universe, to ensure that the person who has offered it will have all prosperity in this world and the next." Sudama spent the night at Krishna's palace, and he felt as if he were living in Vaikuntha. The next morning, after being honored by Lord Krishna, Sudama started for home, and while walking on the road, he felt delighted. Although he had apparently received nothing substantial, Sudama thought to himself, "Lord Krishna is known to be very devoted to the Brahmanas, and now I have personally witnessed this. He who carries the goddesses of fortune on his chest has embraced this poor beggar. Who am I? A poor friend of a Brahmana. And who is Krishna? The Supreme Personality of Godhead, full of six opulences. Nevertheless, he has embraced me with his two arms. He treated me just like a brother, having me sit on the bed of his beloved consort. Although he is the Lord of all the demigods and the object of worship for all Brahmanas, he worshipped me as if I were a demigod by massaging my feet and rendering all kinds of other humble service. Krishna must have thought, if this poor wretch suddenly becomes rich, he will certainly become intoxicated with pride and thus forget me. Out of compassion, the Lord did not grant me any wealth. While returning home, Sudama simply thought about the reception he had received from Krishna, and thus he was merged in transcendental bliss. Then, when Sudama reached his neighborhood, he saw that everything had wonderfully changed. For instead of small cottages, he saw huge palaces and splendid gardens in which beautiful men and women were strolling. Actually, Sudama was wondering whether he had actually returned home or not. What is all this? How has all this come about? While Sudama was thinking in this way, group of men and women resembling residents of heaven came to greet him. When she heard of his arrival, Sudama's wife joyfully came out of her house to meet him. She was so beautiful that it appeared as if the goddesses of fortune herself had come to greet him. With tears of happiness in her eyes and her voice choked up, she closed her eyes in ecstasy, and while bowing down before her husband, she mentally embraced him within her heart. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti comments, as Sudāmā was wondering what celestial woman had come to greet him, the maidservants informed him that she was indeed his wife. At that very moment, Sudama's body also became transformed, so that he was young, handsome, and beautifully attired. Sudama was amazed to see how his wife had become so beautiful and affectionate, and how numerous maidservants surrounded her. Without saying anything, he took his wife and entered his house, which appeared like the palace of Indra. Inside his personal apartment, which was made of transparent marble, Sudama saw that the beds were extremely soft and as white as the foam of milk. The bed sheets, the bedsteads were made of ivory and decorated with gold. He saw golden thrones, walls made of crystal inlaid with jewels, and columns decorated with jewels. At first, Sudama could not understand the cause of this miraculous change. But after considering the matter, he thought, I have always been very poor. I think that the only way by which I could suddenly become rich is that Lord Krishna has glanced upon me, being the omniscient Paramatma. He knew that I had come to Dwarka with the intention of begging from him. Even though he never said anything to me about this, he has bestowed such opulence upon me, just as a merciful rain cloud nourishes the land. The Lord considers his greatest benedictions to be insignificant, while at the same time he magnifies even a small service rendered to him by a well wishing devotee. Thus, it was Thus, it was with great pleasure that he accepted the small amount of flat rice I brought him. The Lord is the reservoir of all transcendental qualities. Life after life, may I serve him with love, and may I cultivate firm attachment for him in the association of his pure devotees. To those devotees who are not yet situated firmly on the platform of unalloyed devotional service, the Lord will not grant kingly power and other such material assets, knowing well how the intoxication of pride can cause a great fall down. Thus, the opulence I have obtained must be used only in the Lord's service and not for my personal aggrandizement. Aggrandizement. Thus, Sudama continued to live peacefully with his wife, accepting his newly found opulence in a spirit of renunciation, enjoying everything as prasadam of the Lord. In this way, his position never deteriorate, deter, deteriorated. In this way, his position never deteriorated, but instead his love for Krishna increased day by day. Thus, experiencing how the unconquerable Supreme Lord is nonetheless conquered by his devotees, Sudama could feel how the force of his constant meditation was cutting the remaining knots of material attachment within his heart on the Lord.